Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast pre-show here on Patreon. I am your host, Corey Deerigan. Alongside me, as always, is the PC muscle race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
Hey, what's going on?
Hi, LeRon.
Hey,
I missed you last week.
I missed you guys too, but I was terribly sick. And if and you know, I don't want to lie to you guys, I'm still a little under it, but you know, I'm here. I'm back.
Everyone's under something.
Oh, okay. You know what? Well, whatever way you want to take that, you know, we'll have it.
Also here is Mad Pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
I don't have a clever comeback. Hello.
Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
Could be better.
Smile,
Let's move on.
smile big for the camera. Also smiling is PK Power Pat Klein.
This is a brand new record.
Yeah. Is it?
I think so.
No. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to figure out the edit. Because last week it was 52 seconds.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one has only this is 4 of us though, so I'd still say this one's got a record.
Fair. True. Fair. Oh, it's been a week already. You know?
I'll believe you.
It's only Tuesday on a holiday week.
That is true.
Good times, everybody. Good times. You know what I did? You know what I did get though? I got my Toon Link amiibo today because they were in stock on Amazon. So I got one. Although it was a Japanese import one, even though the listing did not say that. But it's okay. I opened it anyway, so you can't really tell at all.
The Japanese import works exactly the same as the domestic.
I know they do. I don't care. Certain people do care though, LeRon. They want they want the English on the box.
Whatever.
Okay.
See, they're not of a certain age where like that shit did not matter, you know, because if you're of a certain age, like you either got this shit with like a foreign language on it or you didn't get it at all.
Yeah. You just got to suck it up.
People don't appreciate like what we went through with video games. Now, you know, the fact that capitalism is a real thing and like companies want to release video games everywhere now so you can get the most money possible. And, you know, the fact that Namco Bandai is fucking finding ways to actually lay people off about laying them off, you know, like, come on.
They canceled
That's a Japanese thing though. That's not just Namco Bandai. That's how.
Yeah, how often do we hear of this though?
We
don't hear about it as frequently as we hear about Microsoft's laying off 1,200 employees every fucking month. We don't hear about that. We don't hear about that over Japan that frequently.
It's a normal occurrence in Japan though. That's what they do. If they hate you, they put you in a room where you
because their labor laws are a lot different, and I kind of wish we had some of that shit going on here in the United States.
They canceled 4 projects, including a Nintendo partnered project. Did you see that?
Yeah, and apparently and I'm not sure if it's just bad translation or whatnot, but apparently it's because there was no interest in the project, meaning like fans didn't want this project. That makes 0 sense.
Well, we don't know what the project was, so
True.
It was probably a Warriors spin-off game of some sort.
That's not Namco. That's not Namco's wheelhouse though. That's
right.
Koei Tecmo.
That's Koei Tecmo. Never mind. I don't know then. You know, I don't know. Maybe it was that Xenosaga trilogy HD remaster that everybody's been wanting.
I just want a remaster. I just want a remaster of Xenogears. I care less about Saga.
Wow. Well, I guess we'll find out if Squaresoft ever wants to, you know, it'd be cool if they did the some sort of like. No, that wouldn't work for Xenogears. Never mind. Erase that. You know what we are going to talk about though, LeRon? You brought a topic to the table.
I sure did.
You wanna tell us what that is?
Yeah. You know, okay. So I'm actually gonna preface this first with some thoughts and some feelings about some things, right? So we're seeing a lot of stuff going on here, if anyone's been catching the news lately, like the Baldur's Gate 3, like the super ultimate collector's edition. I'm not sure what version it is because like I'm not that interested in Baldur's Gate 3. I would just eventually get the base version of the game and live my life. But ultimately, like Larian came out and said like, hey, like this was not supposed to be some commodity. Like this is supposed to be something for people that love the game. Now, I want to go full stop right there for a second because anytime you release an edition of a game that's more than the actual regular MSRP, it's a commodity. I'm just gonna say it. So I'm posing the question: are pre-orders of games in the digital market scape really necessary? And I say the digital market scape because let's be serious. Like these companies in the year 2024 are getting more of their money and profit from digital sales of video games than they are from physical now. So it's time to ask. It's time to ask the question. Also, but also there's a second prong to this whole thing because we're looking at games that had like record pre-order numbers go through a sell through, and then we turn around here, company, like the publishers say the game didn't sell enough, so we're not making a sequel, or the game didn't sell enough, so we're canceling all the future projects, including DLCs, expansions, whatnot, stuff that was already announced and stuff like that. So yeah, pre-orders. I feel like to a certain extent, like back before the pre-order, because I think the pre-order monster, reared his head really for the first time when GTA 3 was coming out. Because in all honesty, like I was working at GameStop at the time back then, and when GTA 3 was coming out, that was the first time we ever heard a real push for pre-orders, stuff like that. And in my store, we had so many pre-orders that back then proportionally, pre-orders would dictate how many copies the store got. And when I say how many copies, I don't mean like, hey, like you had 500 pre-orders of this game, so you're getting 500 plus an amount for casual walkthroughs that missed the boat. No, you got like you got like the pre-orders plus 75% on top of that. So we're looking at stores having like about 700 copies of a game, and
Hmm.
then they set on the shelves forever because the people who really want the game, they got the game, the first week or two, first month, stuff like that, and then all of a sudden they were just sitting there. Um, so essentially, like pre-orders, are they fucking necessary? Especially when like even when the game like right now, like okay, and you know what? I'm guilty of this because I pre-ordered the premium edition of Monster Hunter Wilds. It doesn't come out till next year, right? But I did pre-order on a deep discount though. Like I got that bitch for $90 versus the full 120. Cause I'm trying to save a buck here, but I didn't even get it for all there's not even a version that comes out with crazy ass swag, like physical shit. Like it's all game stuff. But ultimately I also love Monster Hunter, so the chances of me buying like the top edition of a game, it's going to be Monster Hunter. Like before it's any fucking Legend of Zeldas, Mass Effects, Super Mario's, Infamous. Like it doesn't. Like Sony's not even getting that type of coin from me, and I love the Uncharted series to death. But yeah, pre-orders of games, are they
But
needed?
when you said you
And
pre-ordered Monster Hunter, is that all digital stuff?
it's all digital. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
that's why.
in,
That's why I also said digital marketscape because let's be serious. Let's be serious. A lot of games now, like, look, Stephanie, you and Pat had to basically wait on bated breath for like limited run to make a physical release of games that you guys love.
Hmm.
And
yeah.
I'm pretty sure for the most part, you guys probably pre-ordered those games on digital before limited run was like, hey, we're gonna press some discs for you and send you a copy if you want to buy it. Um, so
I
so
actually have held off pre-ordering any digital games for the longest time because I thought it was pointless because I can
mhm.
buy it on the day. Because I always thought pre-ordering was to reserve your spot for a physical thing that might run out. Like, how can you run out of digital copies? However, I did pre-order for the first or second time ever in my life a digital pre-order, and that was Silent Hill 2. And the reason why I did that was
Early
because I was
access.
early
No.
access
Yes.
primarily, and I
Yeah.
would get the digital soundtrack. So are they necessary? No. Is it a means for companies to make more money? Yes. Is it worth it? It depends. Like, I would love to have early
Here's the
access. That's a big draw for me.
here's the rub, right? If you're pre-ordering a game, and this is generally how I feel, but also there's a lot of weight behind it when you look into it. When you pre-order a game and they say pre-order it, you get early access to the game. That usually means the game was ready to go long before then,
Well,
and they're
sure.
just incentivizing people. And well, not even incentivizing people. It's more like they're I don't know, cattle prodding you
Mhm.
to try and make you to spend an additional like percentage of money for the game that like is going to come out 3 days later. Like perfect example, right? I bought the Tekken 8 Deluxe Edition. Um, um, Actually, let me explain why I usually pre-order my digital games. I pre-order my digital games so like they're already preloaded and ready for me to go the day they drop. That's my main reason why. Like I honestly could care less about whether or not like like I need the game. Or I need all the stuff that comes with it. Usually, my whole thing is I'm just trying to get the game. Have it ready to go for the day I do decide to play it because sometimes like I'll get the game and it'll be preloaded in my library and I don't start until the weekend. Like if this game comes out on a Wednesday or Thursday, I probably won't start until Saturday. Now in the case like Monster Hunter, I'm gonna be up half the fucking night waiting for that game to finish preload so I can play it right then. But yeah, so I do have to explain myself because I don't want people coming up in the comments like, oh, LeRon is on some bullshit, saying this and that, but he does pre-order games. Like I have a reason for why I pre-order games, but are pre-orders doing what they're supposed to be doing as far as sales go? Because like the companies don't need to set expectations for sales. They just need to set expectations for how much money it's going to bring in the end game. Like pre-orders don't mean, in my opinion, pre-orders don't mean like your game is actually going to sell. Because also speaking as a former GameStop like employee, we had people that pre-ordered games all the time and we didn't have sell-through on them. We had maybe like on a for a good game, like maybe we had like 95% sell through, but for certain games, like we would get like, I'm just gonna throw a rough number out here. We get 100 pre-orders, and 40 of them would still be sitting, on the shelf for weeks after release.
Mhm.
Stuff like that. So I don't know, like are we the crazy ones or publishers the crazy ones for this shit?
I mean, I think people just are still in the mindset of pre-ordering stuff because they are caught up in the marketing hype cycle, right? It doesn't matter if it's digital or physical. I mean, and that's where the early access stuff starts coming in, right? Is like, oh, a lot of the companies are starting to do this, and it's really popular with Xbox gamers because if you, right, everything comes at Game Pass day one, but if you pre-order the, I don't know, the season pass or the expansion pass or whatever for that game, you get it early, right? And that, it's $30 to pre-order this expansion to a game that you get for free with your subscription, right? And then you also get to play it. I think some games are 6 to 7 days early. I think Forza is like a week early
Yeah, Forza
sometimes.
Forza was a week early.
So and then the Halo Infinite stuff, like the multiplayer came out like a month early, right? I mean that shadow dropped as a beta, and then you got to keep playing multiplayer until Halo came out, if you were a Game Pass subscriber. So um I've really limited myself on pre-ordering games recently. You know, Specifically digital games. Like I'll buy a game like a day or two before if I'm really excited for it digitally, just so it's
Yeah,
preloaded and ready to go. But I'm not gonna buy it like
months
months
ahead.
early, especially because like
Games get pushed back. Games
well
get delayed.
but also like at least on Xbox, I don't know how it is on PlayStation, but on Xbox, they don't even charge you until like 10 days before the game comes out. So like, what if you pre-order it like 6 months in advance, and then you just kind of forget about it, and you're
And then a charge comes out. Yeah,
Yeah.
PlayStation does that. PlayStation does that also.
And then Nintendo is like a week early, I think.
Yeah.
So, like,
I was
what
gonna
if you
say
just
with
kind of forget?
Nintendo, real quick, Nintendo is one that none of their games allow early access if you pre-order digitally, right? And then also, it never is loaded the moment that it goes live. It's not like Xbox Live, right? You still have to.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what upset me with Monster Hunter Rise. I pre-ordered that. And I couldn't even start downloading it until 3 a.m.,
Yeah.
No,
the
there are
day
some
the day it was
Nintendo
out.
games. There are some Nintendo games that do preload. They are very selective, but there are Nintendo games that do preload.
Hmm.
Just want to clarify that.
Yeah. I will say the only exception for me would be like a Destiny expansion, but that's because they provide the expansions. They provide the expansions weapons early for you to like play with, and they
Mhm.
kind of use that as like a almost like a beta test for their new weapons to see where they need to be, nerfed or buffed, or kind of where they need to settle within the meta of the game, right? And so that kind of stuff is cool. And then usually when the expansion comes out, like you'll get like a skin or something for your weapon or some armor transmogs or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, everybody. I know everybody is guilty of, like, they have their one, maybe 2 or 3 games that like they will automatically pre-order it. Like they might not pre-order it on site as soon as they see like the teaser trailer or whatnot. But everybody has like their game or something, because I mean, like, we're all human and we want stuff, and things like that. So I'm not condemning us, the gamers. Actually, I'm not. What I am doing is trying to challenge gamers in asking the question, is it worth pre-ordering a game sometimes? Because, like, for example, I mean, like, I got the ROG Ally X, and I actually went back and bought some games that I wanted to have back when I first got the thing. Like, I got Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection on PC for $22. The Spider-Man games
Yeah.
that are on PC, they never go on sale. I found those on this. I got both games for the price of one game, of one Spider-Man game. Stuff like that. So I'm like, they're going to sell the game. They're going to sell the game regardless, because I mean, like, me being a Sony fanboy, for the most part, like, because I have Spider-Man 2. I bought Spider-Man 2 day one, but I didn't pre-order that. I walked into the store and got that the day the store opened. I got a physical edition of Spider-Man 2 for the PS5. So
Mhm.
they're getting their sales. They're getting their
I
sales, but go ahead, Sam.
I have two other points, both for either side. So I, the other consideration is there are companies that basically say that when you purchase a digital game, the game is not really yours, right? Isn't that something that I believe a
The
company had once said?
the EULA's always said that way back in the 90s. The end
Well,
user
but
license agreement is always said that we're basically licensing the game. Like, we fooled ourselves into thinking that, and even with physical copies, because technically, like they can now, like, just flip a switch on their servers and be like, oh, your game no longer loads up anything.
Mhm.
yeah, and
With
then but on the
physical
flip
copies,
side,
yeah.
yeah, but on the flip side, you know what? In the end, you're running a business. If I am trying to sell a product of mine and there is any way for me to generate hype, I don't think it would be below me to do something like that at the same time. So,
Well, understandable.
business.
That's remember last year. Remember last year when Microsoft put like a lackluster showcase out there, and I was like, why is it up to the gamers to generate the hype for the company?
Because I mean
Because the
that's just
gamers are free.
yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
free marketing. It's the same reason why streamers stream, like companies give games to streamers and YouTubers, because that's free marketing for them, right? They're not like,
Yeah.
you know, selling them anything or paying them. They're giving them
Well,
the
if the
game to hope.
well if the product is doing what it's doing, yeah, then the streamers are definitely helping out in that process. But like, let me just say this real quickly, because I know Pat's bubbling with something to say. But
Bubbling.
I've only been waiting to say my turn for the last like 15 minutes.
oh, I'm sorry, I'm passionate. So
And you can do what I do. I just cut in.
I
Go ahead, Pat. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
passionate. I've been away for a week. It feels like I've been away for a month. I'm sorry.
All right. So I am on the opposite side of this argument. So I love to pre-order my games. I pre-order digitally all the time. The things that, for me, I'm going to end up playing the game anyways. They're worth it paying, full price or whatever. So I don't care if I pre-order and still don't play it for like days on end. However, the pre-order does have benefits. And I will point it more out on the Steam side. Steam, the more people wish list, which is essentially the pre-order of Steam, the more popular, the more likely it is to be featured on, pages and on lists as being something that's, it gives it more visibility per se. So,
Can I can I ask a question real quickly?
mhm.
I thought wish listing just showed an interest in the game because I wish list a bunch of games all the time, but they don't direct me to a pre order.
Well, yeah, it's essentially it's still free. It's you're not repurchasing the game. However, it's almost doing the same thing as a pre-purchase in the sense of it is drawing out that visibility. It is letting the developers know that this is a game that you have interest in. I mean, I will say the Xbox and the PlayStation and even Nintendo, their wish list isn't as good as the Steam wish list. It's a
I'm
lot harder for the visibility to show.
I'm gonna tell you right now, like the consoles have always had a problem with their storefronts and like
Mhm.
how like games are promoted and stuff like that. The consoles have had since the beginning of Xbox Live.
Yeah. I mean, I even noticed on PlayStation today, I picked up Neva. However, it wasn't featured on the new games yet. Like, I feel like it almost got pushed out of the way so that the bigger titles could like try and draw in the share before they start throwing it onto their new games. I literally had to search this game up to be able to download it. Uh, and I just kind of feel that like maybe that's kind of what the pre-orders are there for. It's to get that visibility and to maybe draw that interest so that companies will know like how they can market this in a way. Like, is it something that they're going to put on their front page, or is it something that they're just going to like push down at the bottom?
I like how you said that
Hmm.
how companies can market the games because I also think that a lot of games suffer because of piss poor marketing. Piss poor
Hmm.
marketing even when and I think it's because they have hubris. They know people are going to buy the game, so they don't put much into the marketing of it, and like they get exactly the amount of sales they thought they thought they were going to get when they could have gotten anywhere from 20 to 40% more sales by just doing a little bit more of the marketing. And this is also me, the person that says, like, I feel like companies spend too much money in marketing and advertising for games. Some companies don't spend enough, and then they're like, oh, the game didn't do well, so like, buy sequels,
Hmm.
buy
Yeah.
DLC, buy buy those extra characters we promised, because like they've already fired the developers.
Yeah. But also I like pre-orders because it's that convenience of pre-downloading for a lot of the games I get. Like just knowing the security, especially since if I wasn't pre-ordering digitally, the physical method would have been mailing it to me. And lately, I've never gotten a game mailed to me on time within the last like
I don't know how y'all
three
trust that.
years.
I don't know how y'all trust that.
I don't anymore. Now I have to
I
pick it up at Best Buy.
Mhm.
I would never.
Hmm.
I do usually, like, especially with like Nintendo games, right? Like, so for example, Mario Party Jamboree is coming out this week, and my kids are excited for it because they love Mario Party for some some reason. Um, and so I will probably pre-order it tomorrow, right, at Best Buy, so I can pick it up on what, Friday when it comes out? Thursday,
I
Friday?
think it's Thursday.
Oh
Nintendo's
yeah,
been
Nintendo games
Thursday
come
as
out
of
on
late.
Thursdays now. Yeah. Um, so yeah, that'll be like an easy pickup for me. But that's a physical thing though, right? That's not a digital. So
Hmm.
Nintendo, I'm so paranoid that the next Nintendo console is not going to be backwards compatible. Because if I knew Nintendo's stuff was going to be backwards compatible moving forward, I would not bother with physical stuff. I'm just like, oh my god, what if it's not? I'm gonna have to leave. My Wii U is still plugged in, and that thing is like 12 years old. I want to put it away so bad. Oh, it doesn't even turn on all the way. It's fine. Mario Party, it's fun, right?
They've been saying this is the best one.
They say that every time.
No, they didn't say that about whatever the last one was.
Superstars, man. Come on, keep up.
No. I'm thinking of Super Mario Party.
Oh,
Some of the one that just you some of the one that's been out
Yeah,
since the
not
since
not the
Switch
one
came
that's
out?
just mini games. It's the one that was before the just mini game one. That was
there
just
isn't
that
like
one.
four
there isn't a
maps.
just mini game one on Switch.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. There's
Yeah,
oh
I thought all Superstars was
No,
the mini
Superstars
game
is the
one.
remake. It has like the remade boards from the N64 games.
I thought that was Super Mario Party.
Nope, that's a brand new one. Anyways, we're getting too hung up on Mario Party. Jeez.
Yeah, please
Learn
don't.
a naming convention.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah. Anyways, any other? I don't know. Digital games, man. Like I love seeing my digital collection, right? And like it, also like with the, I know we're kind of going long on this topic, but like with PlayStation Plus and Game Pass and stuff like that, it's like it makes it a lot easier to wait for games and like not pre-order games and like pick things to play while you're waiting for other games to come out, right? So like it's not really necessary to pre-order, a lot of things anymore early for, that's, I don't know if that's like a hot take or not, but I don't know. I was scrolling through the PlayStation Plus because I have extra, and I was like scrolling through the stuff the other day because something had an update or something, and I'm just like, man, there are so many games here. Like I will never have to, like a normal person would never have to pay for a video game if they just subscribe to one of these services. It's like, oh my gosh, look at all this stuff that's here. So, I mean, like all the Assassin's Creed games are there, all the Final Fantasy games are there, except for like the Pixel remasters, and like the Kingdom Hearts games are there, and there's some multiplayer games on there. It's incredible. I'm like, oh my god, I think PlayStation Plus is better than Game Pass.
You said it.
I've thought that for a long time though.
You said it.
I mean, I've thought that for a long time though, but that's just me. Anyways, do we want to call it there? Does anybody have anything else to say about this? LeRon, you're very passionate about this subject.
I am because I guess I'll have a closing thought to this. The reason why I'm so passionate about this is because like we have a real situation going on here. I don't want to like make people hysterical and stuff like that, but we are looking at a gaming recession in progress right now, stuff like that. And there's a part of it that like part of it is to blame on the gamers as much as it is on the developers and then the publishers and stuff like that. Like unrealistic things are happening now. Like there's so many video games out there now. It's not like how it was in the late 80s and early 90s when there was only but so many games to play and stuff like that. Now you've got games that are falling out the woodwork. Sometimes you will trip on a crack on the sidewalk and there's 7 different games waiting for you to play and stuff like that. We're hypersaturated with games, from everything from indie titles to classic dyed in wool, like regular titles to your hardcore AAA titles and stuff like that. And companies are looking at this metric that like games have to sell like an exorbitant amount. What is it? Sony has what? Sony has actually hit what 21 million PS5s. I want to say I haven't checked the number in a while,
Well,
but
it's like almost 60.
Okay, I haven't checked the number in a while. But anyway, okay. So let's think about that for a second. There's 60 million PS5s out there, right? Is every company expecting 60 million sales of each one of their damn games?
Yes.
Yes.
And that's the problem. That's why
I wish I was joking, but yes.
And that's the problem. No, I asked that question rhetorically because I already knew the answer, but I'm asking this.
Final Fantasy 16 sold like 5 million copies, and Square was disappointed.
And Square was hurt. Mm-hmm. But actually, Final Fantasy undersold in Japan, like the place where it grew up at. That's what really hurt. That's what really made them butthurt about this. And also we'll have another topic sooner or later about fucking exclusives. I think exclusives is an outdated model. I think exclusives are an outdated model,
Well, so does Xbox apparently. I mean, that's the direction.
And you know what? I applaud Xbox for the mentality, but I also want to slap them in the face for how they implemented it. Because they preach to their own base for a couple of decades now that come here because this is where we got Halo, this is where we got Gears of War, this is where we got this is where we got that. And now it's like, oh, we got it everywhere now. Like, have fun.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I mean,
but
we could make a whole topic about the Xbox exclusivity thing, but we're not going to do it here because we have a normal show to do. So we're gonna put a nice little bow on it. Just this isn't how you tie knots, but you get the idea, everybody.
That's how Corey ties knots.
Tie something else.
Tongue.
Anyways, everybody out there, thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your at least $1 a month. You get this show 4 times a month and extra perks and all kinds of goodies. Thank you to our Patreon producers, and we will see you on the main show. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
So long.
Farewell. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.